Welcome to the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. On today's episode, it's all about dodging and burning, so stay tuned. All right, here we go, guys. Let's dodge and burn this image. This is a really cool image of a wolf here, and I just want to dodge it and burn it to make it look a little more dynamic, okay? I'm going to show you a really cool technique for dodging and burning, and I think you're really going to enjoy it, and you can use it on any image that you'd like. It's really nice, and it's very effective. I think you're really going to like this one, so just stick with me here, okay? We're going to use curves adjustment layers, one for dodging, which is lightening the image, and one for burning, which is darkening the image, okay? So let's get started here. We're going to come up here to layer, come to new adjustment layer, and come to curves. We're going to use one of these curves, non-destructive adjustment layers. So let's click OK here. And to lighten the image or to dodge it, we're going to take this curve and we're going to pull it up, which is going to lighten up the image. And remember, curves are non-destructive, so you can come back here at any time and readjust these curves, all right? So let's just make it a little bit lighter, somewhere right around in there. And let's hide this adjustment. So Control or Command I to invert the layer mask to hide the adjustment right here. All right, so now what we want to do is get our paintbrush. So you can just click on the paintbrush or type B on your keyboard. And then we're going to make sure your brush is at the right size for your image. And what we want to do is make sure we're painting with white paint onto our layer mask, because right now our layer mask is black, and whenever we paint with white, we're going to reveal the curves adjustment, okay? So any area we want to go lighter, we're just going to paint, okay? So I'm just looking for areas I want to paint, like the eyes here, some of this area around the wolf here. These areas here are already light, so I don't want to really paint over those. Maybe this right in here a little bit. So now let's click this eyeball here so we can see the before and after. Okay, it looks okay, but it's painted on, guys. It's not real natural. So let's option click the layer mask, and you can see there's the rough painting job that I've done, right? All right, so option click the layer mask again. And there we go. But here's how we make this dodge look really, really natural. And that secret is coming up to image here and coming down to apply image. Give that a click. Now look at these settings. Opacity, make sure opacity is set to 100%. Make sure blending is on multiply. Make sure channel is set to RGB, and make sure layer is merged. And the source is the source of your image, okay? Now there's an invert checkbox here. Make sure for dodging you do not have this checked. For burning you will check it. And you'll see when we burn this, I will check this. But for now, I'm dodging it, and just click OK. But now let's click this eyeball here on and off. But look how much more natural that looks, okay? And remember, you can come here to the curves adjustment layer and you can readjust this. You can make it lighter or darker. And it's only going to affect those light areas. And the apply image is helping us to just stick solely to the light areas of the image, which is really cool. So let's option click the layer mask and see what's actually happening. See, we're using the image to naturally put the light areas onto the layer mask, okay? Whatever is light here is the light portions of the image. Whatever is black are the dark portions of the image. But the image is actually giving us a very accurate layer mask, okay? That's what apply image is all about. And that's why this looks so good and so natural. So let's look at the before and after. Isn't that awesome, guys? Really, really cool. And remember, you can come here to your curves and readjust this at any time. If you feel it's too light or too not light enough, too dark, you can pull it up to make it lighter, down to make it a little bit darker. All right, so there's the dodging portion, okay? Let's go back up here to layer and get another new adjustment layer. Let's get another curves adjustment layer. Click OK. This time, let's pull this curve down to darken, okay? And again, let's hide this adjustment layer. Command or Control I to hide it. Again, we're going to paint with white paint. And the areas we want darker, we're just going to paint over those areas, and they will get darker. Okay, so any area you want to go darker, like over that nose, over these areas in here, I want to get darker. Some of this fur in here gives us much more nicer contrast into our image. Because remember, contrast is nothing more than, lighter lights and darker darks. And let's make my brush a little bit bigger here and paint in the background here. So we'll darken some of the darker areas of the background just to draw more emphasis into the wolf itself, okay? Now, let's click the eyeball on and off. As you can see, it looks okay, guys. But again, I've just painted it. Let's option click here, and you can see it's a very rough paint job, right? But now let's go to our wonderful friend, Apply Image. So let's come back up to Image. Let's go down to Apply Image. And remember, this time, guys, we want to check off this invert here, or click it on, actually. So the little check appears here. And now we've inverted this Apply Image and click OK. And so now we're only going to be applying our effect to the dark areas. So let's click the eyeball here. So here is the before and here's the after. See, it's a much more natural effect. Now remember, you can click on the curves adjustment here and you can readjust this. Make the darks darker or lighter, whichever you prefer here, guys. Remember, it's non-destructive, and that's really the cool thing about this technique. You can come back and readjust it. Really cool. Now let's just group these two curves adjustments into one group here. So let's shift click curves 1 and select, that selects both of these adjustment layers. And now let's right click and go to group from layers, and let's call this group Dodge and Burn. And let's click OK. So now let's click this eyeball on and off. So there's before and there's the after. Isn't that cool? Much more emphasis, a much more dynamic image, much more emphasis on the wolf itself. Those eyes are really piercing at me, and I think that looks really nice. And remember, you have this opacity here, so you can take this opacity, pull it the whole way off, and then drag it up, and you have some other adjustments here. I like it up the full way here, but remember the opacity, you can also tweak your adjustment with the opacity. So, and you can come back into the group here and open the group up here and go to either one of these Dodge or Burn layers and readjust through the curves adjustment. So really cool. Well, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this lesson today. Use this on your images, and I think you'll find it's very effective and a very good way of dodging and burning. I think it's really going to help you out. If you've enjoyed this lesson today, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that bell notification icon so you can be informed of all the new training videos that I'm putting out, guys. Well, thanks for joining me today on The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I will see you guys right here next time.